Let's welcome to the show former U.S. Attorney Guy Lewis. Guy, it's great to have you back on. We've missed you. We love having your insights and perspective. Guy, okay, the special counsel John Durham's criminal probe into Trump Russia, it fired up again today. The special counsel Durham asked a federal court to approve 30 subpoenas for testimony in the trial against Igor Danchenko that's heading to trial this fall. He was the main source for British ex-spy Christopher Steele and the debunked and discredited anti-Trump Steele dossier that was the basis for all those wiretaps to spy in Trump Russia. Now, they're not naming names, but who do you think Durham is trying to subpoena to testify?
Hi, Liz. So he's going to go back and he's going to give some detail about the dossier, the false information that was provided, a lot about Danchenkowic's background. He's a lawyer out of D.C., born in Russia. So he's going to fill in a lot of blanks. Frankly, I think, Liz, he probably learned a few things in the loss in the Sussman case, and I'm hoping the 30 witnesses really kind of fill those gaps that caused him to lose the case in D.C. when it was tried back in May.
Because this is the heart of the fakery of what went on in Trump Russia, right? I mean, Danchenko, by the way, he's pleaded not guilty to 5 counts of making false statements to the FBI. So, Guy, what's going on here is he allegedly lied to the FBI about who his sources were for the Steele dossier that the FBI under James Comey used to do wiretaps on people like Carter Page, right? So his source, even Danchenko, he was interviewed by the FBI, and the FBI is saying, wait a second, what are you telling us? And Danchenko was saying this Steele dossier it's rumors said in jest over beers. And then he was squirrely about who his sources were. But this is how bad it was under Obama's FBI, that they ramped it up into a conspiracy against Trump.
It was absolutely horrible, and indeed, this isn't just. Listen, what have we seen so far? One of the lawyers from the FBI has pled guilty. He's been sentenced. They've charged several other people. I just think this really is a make-or-break moment for Durham. He needs to get it back in there, and I'm glad he's thrown the net out wide. Frankly, I think he should have thrown it out wider, in my humble opinion. But he needs to make sure he gets his evidence in there, puts it on, and convicts this guy. He's clearly trying to flip him to try to work up the ladder, Liz, and I'm wishing him all the luck in the world.
You know, to your point, Senate intelligence had reported that Christopher Steele, who, again, Hillary Clinton's campaign and the DNC paid for Christopher Steele's work via the Perkins Coie law firm, sending money for Fusion GPS, and then Fusion GPS got Steele on the stick. Now, Christopher Steele was the guy who was working for a Russian oligarch linked to Putin, Oleg Deripaska. And this is happening before, during, and after his time targeting Trump. So there's a lot of weirdness still around this case and what is going on. And the question for you, Guy, is what would have happened to all this if Trump lost? We never would have heard about it.
Well, it would have been buried. We would have never seen it. And look, my only criticism of John and the case that he's been investigating and he's brought, again, I would have, had I been running the show, I would have charged a conspiracy to obstruct justice and to make false statements. I would have charged these people together.
Who would you have charged with Who would you have charged with conspiracy, and who are you saying you would have charged together?
I clearly would have charged the attorneys that were involved. I would have looked strongly at the law firm. I would have traced the monies back to who paid for these lawyers. We know they came from the Hillary Clinton campaign and others. So I would have followed the money, and I would have charged those people absolutely that were involved in this conspiracy to obstruct justice and to provide false information to the FBI and, frankly, to fix an election. That's what was going on here.
Yeah, the Trump voter, it feels, we've spoken to a lot of Trump voters. They feel Trump got railroaded by this, fake Trump Russia story that the Hillary Clinton team cooked up, because she wasn't involved in her own, and we're retreading, but her own email scandal, right? She was using her own private email system and to basically, as Secretary of State, to communicate with foreign leaders. And so that was an issue. So then she moved on to this. I mean, when you look at the backstory and how it played out and how the reporting was done on it and how it was swallowed hook, line, and sinker that this was a real thing when it wasn't, we can't ever be here again in our nation. This can never happen again in America.
Absolutely horrible. It turned the election on its head in terms of trying to make sure that true and honest information was put out there. And frankly, I don't think a lot of these people that were involved are ever going to be brought to justice.
We'll stay on it, Guy Lewis. You'll come back. It's good to see you.